93, everybody. I cannot sleep, so I decided it's vlog time. I guess I haven't updated anything in a while, so it'll be a good time. I'll let y'all know what's going on and have a little whatever. So mostly today, I just want to talk about writing and good writing habits and bad writing habits. Because for some reason I started a new novel. I didn't really mean to, it just kind of happened. And it gave me cause to reflect on a lot of my own little writing tips, which I guess I've never really consolidated into one instructional video before, so now it's time to do that. There's a few things about writing that I think that our people just don't get when they try to instruct other people about writing. First of all, I will say I've only ever read one good book about writing, and it was by Stephen King, and I fucking hate Stephen King. I have never enjoyed anything really that he's done. I vaguely enjoyed the movie they made of The Shawshank Redemption. Literally, that's it. But the book he wrote on writing was fucking genius. So, check that out. That's my first. We start there. But the thing is that's counterintuitive about good writing is that good writing comes from looking at bad writing. The fucking fan. See, I'm just gonna go ahead and hope that you can still hear me while that noise is happening. This whole basement ventilation system is not necessarily the best for these type of situations, but fuck, whatever, man. What I'm trying to say here is that when I want to write something really inspiring and good and funny and cogent and meaningful, I don't read good books to do that. That's stupid. Why would you read a good book? Because a good book is just going to do something good, and then you're not going to be able to copy it because then you're just going to do the same thing as them. That's fucking dumb. Is that if you read something that's kind of categorically bad or necessarily bad when you're trying to write something good, you're not going to find good ideas, which is fine because if you're supposed to be a writer, then you should have good ideas on your own. But what you are going to see is bad ideas, and you can hopefully not do those things. Sometimes you'll just read something that's so shitty, and you're just like, oh, this sucks so much, this sucks incredibly, and then you're like, oh, wait, they just did exactly the same thing I did, and it's like, oh, maybe I want to rethink that, because this book that I think is crap just did what I did. And that's why I think that bad stuff is more instructive, really, in the long run, than good stuff. Because it shows you what not to do. You can take all the cues you want from what not to do, but you can't really take the cues from what to do, or you're just ripping it off. Really. Oh, shut the fuck up, man. So the big thing that people kind of don't get about writing, that I understand, the mistake that every shitty-ass amateur writer makes. Oh, and by the way, you're taking advice from someone who's almost perpetually unpublished, so take it for what it's worth. But still, the shitty-ass mistake that every bullshit amateur writer who sucks way more than I do and isn't worthy to lick the sweat off my butt cheeks makes is that they never fucking finish anything. Yo, it don't matter how shitty your story is, just finish it. And I know it sucks when you start off and you're not even a quarter of the way through and you realize that what you're writing is a piece of shit. Don't put it in a drawer. Fucking finish that bitch. If you don't finish that, then you're never gonna learn anything, man. You can only learn how to start stories that way. Believe me, there are a billion amateur shitty writers out there who have thousands of beginnings of something and they've never finished anything. You need to finish something and have it suck and be pointless a bunch of times until you're ever going to write anything good. It's just like that. I mean, you wouldn't pick up a guitar and expect to learn how to play a song by playing the first, minute of a song over and over and then saying, oh, I'm not very good at that. Well, fuck, there we go. You're not going to learn very much about playing guitar that way. You'll learn how to do an intro, and that's it. And that's what most writers do. And they don't understand the difference between writing a beginning, a middle, and an end, even of a story that sucks. It doesn't matter if it sucks. You finish it. Everything you start, you finish. If you don't, you're not a writer. You're full of shit. And that's all there is to it. There's no such thing as a writer who just has beginnings. There's a bullshitter who just has beginnings. And that's it, basically. That's actually like the only real lesson. My first book, man, my first book was almost 500 pages long. This new novel I'm starting is actually my 5th novel. The first 3 novels sucked. I wouldn't show them to someone to extract a confession from them. But at the same time, I wrote them from the beginning, middle, and end. And that's how I know how to write a book now. That's how it gets to pour out so nicely. And that's how I come up with the shit that I've got going on for me now. And there's just no way to duplicate that kind of experience. People don't have the patience for it. And I don't blame them. You know what? I've got friends in the visual arts, in music, in all these different artistic endeavors, and it's a big fucking difference. Because if you record a song, or paint a picture, or snap a photograph, or come up with a video or a movie or something, you can show that to people and they will watch, listen, or see it and react. If you write a fucking novel, good luck. You got 6 months to a year before you get a reaction from anybody about it, and it's not very satisfying. There's no immediate anything really, and most of the time you have to like bug people to read it because, you know, it's a book and people don't read books anyway anymore, so whatever, who cares. There is a difference though, and the difference is that to do any of those other art forms you kind of have to be young, and there's a certain level of success that you can't really expect to have after a certain age. But no one gives a fuck how old you are when you write books. It might take years to get to learn how to do it well, but no one cares if you're a fucking old fart doing it. So it's a good investment of time. You don't have to fight that clock. And that's really, like, it's a sad clock. Don't get me wrong. It's really sad that there are people out there whose margin of success has become limited by their age, regardless of their talent, regardless of anything else. It's really fucking stupid. And hopefully this technological revolution is going to change that maybe a little. But still, what you can take comfort in with writing is, although it is an investment of time, and it does require a great deal of patience to see anything realized correctly, if you invest that time and you invest that patience, you actually create something that has a great deal more staying power than anything going on now. I mean, the major successes you have in most other art forms are so transitory, so easily replaced, so ephemeral, that they mean very little in the long-term scale of things. But books still last. They still have that power that stretches over the years. I mean, you know, I mean that in future generations, they'll actually be able to look back and see the written word in a way that they're not going to look back and see music, they're not going to look back and see movies, they're not going to look back and see photos and pictures. They're going to look back at this stuff the same way that we look back at this stuff now, because it's not new. It has a history, it has a tradition, and it's not connected to any new technology. It's not connected to anything that's here today, gone tomorrow. The written word is still the written word. A book is still a book, and it's still an artifact that transcends time in a way that none of these other things could even hope to do. Wow, I sound like a real dick, don't I? My shit is better, assholes. That's why I do it. Do you think I would be doing this? If I thought something else would be better, I'd be doing that. Dipshit. Alright, well, now that I've been a real jerk to everybody, what's going on with me? No, fuck it. Talk to you later.